All right. How's everybody doing on this floating rock tonight? Whew. Just to be able to sit down and work on something, man. I haven't had much time, you know. Then you get some spark lighting. It's been hard to find tunes too, man. I've been really searching hard trying to find something, something that gives you that spark. It really is like, man, I really want to work on that. But anyway, when I was working, I just got in from doing some deliveries and stuff, just trying to keep us afloat in the normal lifestyle that I have nowadays, which is, just being able to do the everyday things with my son and teach him all the little things in life that some of us may take for granted and not think about the little things that may bother us, like simple stuff like certain fabrics that can just set them off. And, sometimes you're not really sure. You're just looking at them and trying to figure out, all right, well, what is it? What is it that's wrong? I don't understand. But, I was actually watching Johnny Knoxville the other day when he was on Rogan, and he said bulls, they don't like movement. And man, in a weird way, that just hit me so funny because I was like, that's exactly like my son, man. He likes everything in a spot, and when it moves, sorry about that. When it moves, it becomes a problem. So he literally is at a point right now where when he goes to bed, that he comes out and puts me in a certain spot, and he looks at me and he's like, yeah, you stay right there. Don't move. All right, I got you. You're going to stay there for the night? What you don't know is I got to go out and actually make deliveries and make us some money so we can survive. But every day is a blessing, of course, and it's a challenge and it's a grind, but it's I was presented recently with the opportunity, somebody that I respect a lot and was very important in my life hit me up out of nowhere and was like, he's older than me, was always more successful, just somebody that you really looked up to. He had 2 kids that were like family to me, and both of them one went on to be a pilot, the other one's a chemist at in Montana, last I heard, and I mean he was doing like super good in school. So I was flattered when out of nowhere he was like, I think that you should write a book. I think that we should sit down and try to figure that out. And I was like, nobody, you spend so much time in life going forward and looking forward and being stuck in that momentum that you never think to look back. Especially for me, because there's a lot of stuff I look back on that I'm not proud of, and I take a lot of pride in being honest. So to do that I would have to be 100% honest. And I'd have to look into some things just to make sure I could be honest about them. But you're talking about 25 years of drug addiction, of course, surviving 3 different overdoses, what it was like for me growing up from just in the area I grew up. But always also in my head, it was just party time. And I grew up with a brother who, a lot of kids don't even know this nowadays, but there's what we used to call reputation, because people don't go out of the house no more, but in my area growing up, my brother had a reputation of being that tough guy, being the tough guy in the neighborhood. And sort of when I grew up, I never really, nobody messed with me because they just sort of thought I was exactly like him. But the truth was I was not like him. I was really different. I don't like confrontation unless I have to, back me into the corner and I'll become a bear if I have to. And that's like part of the one thing that my mother, which would be a whole can of worms I'd have to get into. But, she did say to me that, I think you were put on this planet for one reason, or you were, or I was survived through these things to be here for my kid, because he's not a normal kid. He don't have the same walk as other kids. I see other kids, his walk is different, and I'm, but by nature, I'm a protector. So I do feel that I was put in our paths were meant to be here together. in that thing. But anyway, so going back over 25 years of drug addiction, 3 overdoses, it would come down to, it's funny because it would come down like those 3 things and then the 3 loves that I had in my life. And that's what it was for me. I wasn't a fighter. I was a lover, man. I was a real lover. I loved women, man. Still do. It's, and I'm just so happy where things ended up. But man, you want to talk about that first heartache? I felt like I was a car warranty, man. I had, just literally days at one of them and just under 5 years with both of them. And then there was this wild single phase that I went through where I was playing blackjack and driving a mixer. And then you also got to throw that in, driving cross country and literally going to the worst neighborhoods that you could possibly think of, Googling the worst neighborhood in the area and trying to score. Drugs on top of all that. So going through all that would be wild. And it's also dug up a lot when we started. The thought of doing it really, I had mixed emotions on, because I would never think to write a book. That's for sure. Because I was so lucky to get through school. I didn't think I would graduate even. So writing a book would be like, nah. But, he said the part about, I think this could help people. I think that, especially if anybody has an autistic son, because it's a different life. And it's a learning process that, man, it will grind you. It will tear you up. And can you do it? It is the hardest task, and I've had, that's not a thing to being there. I have had some crazy hard jobs, mentally and physically. And I made money through all of it. I was always trying to be functional, even though I was going through some of the worst things, chasing the dragon and chasing love. That would probably be the name, like the book or something. Be chasing the dragon and chasing love. The story of 6 crucial things that happened, I guess. I don't know, but let me know. What do you think? Do you think that this would be a good story? I don't know. Be an interesting. It would be long form, that's for sure, and I have to dig up a lot of stuff. But it definitely got me thinking, that's for sure. All right.